All right, y'all. We reading The Art of Seduction, Chapter 1, Part 1, The Seductive Character, Page 1. All right, like, subscribe. You know what to do. Hit me up. You know me, man. Any suggestions, any books y'all want me to read, let me know. Or anything, shoot. If I need to change it up, let me know. And bait, Rolex. Let's get it. Page 1. All right. We all have the power of attraction, the abilities to draw in and hold them in our thrall. Far from all of us, though, are aware of this. Far from all of us, though, are aware of this inner potential, and we imagine attractiveness instead as a near mystical trait that a select few are born with and the rest will never command. Yet, all we need to do to realize our potential is understand what it is in a person's character that naturally excites people and develop these latent qualities within us. See, it's in everybody. So you feeling lonely and all that, people can be attracted to your ugly ass too, or funny looking, or fat, or skinny, or small, or short, or too tall, or goofy, or whatever the hell you are. Successful seductions rarely begin with an obvious maneuver or a strategic device that is certain to arouse suspicion. Successful seductions begin with your character, your ability to radiate some quality that attracts people and stirs their emotions in a way that is beyond their control. Hypnotized by your seductive character, your victims will not notice your subsequent manipulations. It will then be child's play to mislead and seduce them. See, somebody seducing you or something, it's a devious move. There are 9 seducer types in the world. Each type has a particular character trait that comes from deep within and creates a seductive pull. Sirens have an abundance of sexual energy and know how to use it. Rakes insatiably adore the opposite sex, and their desire is infectious. Ideal lovers have an aesthetic sensibility that they apply to romance. Dandies like to play with their image, creating a striking and androgynous allure. Naturals are spontaneous and open. Coquettes are self-sufficient with a fascinating cool at their core. Charmers want and know how to please. They are social creatures. Charismatics have an unusual confidence in themselves. Stars are ethereal and envelop themselves in mystery. The chapter, see, now these different people, we're gonna figure out which one we are, you are, I guess me too. Out of these 9 characters. Or maybe it might be more than one. Who knows? We're gonna find out. The chapters in this section will take you inside each of the 9 types. At least one of the chapters should strike a chord. You'll recognize part of yourself. That chapter will be the key to developing your own powers of attraction. Let us say you have coquettish tendencies. The coquette chapter will show you how to build upon your own self-sufficiency, alternating heat and coldness to ensnare your victims. It will show you how to take your natural qualities further, becoming a grand coquette, the type we fight over. There is no point in being timid with a seductive quality. We are charmed by an unabashed rake and excuse his excuses. But a half-hearted rake gets no respect. Once you have cultivated your dominant character trait, adding some art to what nature has given you, you can then develop a second or third trait, adding depth and mystery to your persona. Finally, the section's 10th chapter on the anti-seducer will make you aware of the opposite of the opposite potential within you. The power of repulsion. At all costs, you must root out any anti-seductive tendencies you may have. Think of the 9 types as shadows, silhouettes. Only by stepping into one of them and letting it grow inside you can you begin to develop the seductive character that will bring you limitless power. So, we're going to figure out what's the anti-seductive traits we got, stuff that push people away from us, stuff that people don't like about us. We're going to learn that. We're going to learn what attract people, learn to insinuate that, show that off more, learn some cool stuff. So, we're going to start with the siren. A man is often secretly oppressed by the role he has to play. By always having to be responsible, in control, and rational, the siren is the ultimate male fantasy figure because she offers a total release from the limitations of his life. In her presence, which is always heightened and sexually charged, the male feels transported to a world of pure pleasure. She is dangerous, and in pursuing her energetically, the man can lose control over himself, something he yearns to do. The siren is a mirage. She lures men by cultivating a particular appearance and manner. In a world where women are often too timid to project such an image, learn to take control of the male libido by embodying his fantasy. So that's what the siren is about. So then again, we're gonna do all the real writing, and then we're gonna go to these quotes in purple on the side once we done. But how long it took last time, we're gonna go a little faster. I'm gonna read all the black stuff first, and we're gonna do the purple very last, not from page to page. So here we go. The spectacular siren. In the year 48 BC, Ptolemy, Ptolemy the 16th of Egypt managed to depose and exile his sister and wife, Queen Cleopatra. Okay. In the year 48 BC, Ptolemy the 16th of Egypt managed to depose and exile his sister and wife, Queen Cleopatra. He secured the country's borders against her return and began to rule on his own. Later that year, Julius Caesar came to Alexandria to ensure that, despite the local power struggles, Egypt would remain loyal to Rome. One night, Caesar was meeting with his generals in the Egyptian palace, discussing strategy, when the guard entered to report that a Greek merchant was at the door bearing a large and valuable gift for the Roman leader. Caesar, in the mood for a little fun, gave the merchant permission to enter. The man came in, carrying on his shoulders a large rolled-up carpet. He undid the rope around the bundle and with a snap of his wrist unfurled it, revealing the young Cleopatra, who had been hidden inside, and who rose up half-clothed before Caesar and his guests, like Venus emerging from the waves. Everyone was dazzled at the sight of the beautiful young queen, only 21 at the time, appearing before them suddenly as if in a dream. They were astounded at her daring and theatricality. Smuggled into the harbor at night with only one man to protect her, risking everything on a bold move. No one was more enchanted than Caesar. According to the Roman writer Dio Cassius, Cleopatra was in the prime of life. She had a delightful voice which would not fail to cast a spell over all who heard it, such as the charm of her person and her speech that they drew the coldness and the most determined misogynist into her toes. Caesar was spellbound as soon as he set eyes on her, and she opened her mouth to speak. That same evening, Cleopatra became Caesar's lover. See, they talking about it so bad to fuck on the first night. Now you see, Cleopatra fucked on the first night. Came to him, he didn't even know the pussy was coming. She came through and put that thing right up on him. Then out of nowhere. Woo. Damn. Caesar had numerous mistresses before to divert him from the rigors of his campaigns. But he had always disposed of them quickly to return to what really thrilled him, political intrigue, the challenges of warfare, the Roman theater. Caesar had seen women try anything to keep him under their spell, yet nothing prepared him for Cleopatra. Damn. He said he didn't have them all, but none was ready for Cleopatra. One night she would tell him how together they would revive the glory of Alexander the Great and rule the world like gods. The next, she would entertain him dressed as the goddess Isis, surrounded by the opulence of her court. Cleopatra initiated Caesar in the most decadent revelries. I don't know what that means, but Cleopatra initiated Caesar in the most decadent revelries, presenting herself as the incarnation of the Egyptian exotic. His life with her was a constant game, as challenging as warfare. For the moment, he felt secure with her. She would suddenly turn cold. For the moment, he felt secure with her. She would suddenly turn cold or angry, and he would have to find a way to regain her favor. Damn, she was hitting him with that. He didn't know which way she was coming. The weeks went by. Caesar got rid of all of Cleopatra's rivals and found excuses to stay in Egypt. At one point, she led him on a lavish historical expedition down the Nile in a boat of unimaginable splendor, towering 54 feet out of the water, including several terraced levels and a pillared temple to the god Dionysus. Caesar became one of the few Romans to gaze on the pyramids. And while he stayed long in Egypt, away from his throne in Rome, all kinds of turmoil erupted throughout the Roman Empire. When Caesar was murdered in 44 BC, he was succeeded by a triumvirate of rulers, including Mark Antony, a brave soldier who loved pleasure and spectacle and fancied himself a kind of Roman Dionysus. A few years later, while Anthony was in Syria, Cleopatra invited him to come meet her in the Egyptian town of Tars. There, once she had made him wait for her, her appearance was as startling in its way as her first before Caesar. A magnificent gold barge with purple sails appeared on the river Cydnus. The oarsmen rowed to the accompaniment of ethereal music. All around the boat were beautiful young girls dressed as nymphs and mythical figures. Cleopatra sat on deck, surrounded and fanned by cupids, and posed as the goddess Aphrodite, whose name the crowd chanted enthusiastically. Damn, she set up a spectacle for this nigga. He ain't know she got the fine bitches to have naked. You know what I'm saying? She got the big, sweet place. She looking fine as hell. She looking like Aphrodite, the most finest person ever, the goddess ever. She done played the god role in both. She was Isis for Caesar. She Aphrodite for this nigga Mark Anthony. They can't, shit, it don't matter. She got the cold music jamming. After music, she got the music playing. She got everything you want. Like, like all of Cleopatra's victims, Anthony felt mixed emotions. The exotic pleasures she suffered, the exotic pleasures she offered were hard to resist. But he also wanted to tame her. To defeat this proud and illustrious woman would prove his greatness. And so he stayed, and like Caesar, fell slowly under her spell. She indulged him in all of his weaknesses: gambling, raucous parties, elaborate rituals, lavish spectacles, to get him to come back to Rome. Octavius, another member of the Roman triumvirate, offered him a wife. Octavius' own sister, Octavia, one of the most beautiful women in Rome. Known for her virtue and goodness, she could surely keep Anthony away from the Egyptian whore. They was hating. The ploy worked for a while, but Anthony was unable to forget Cleopatra. After 3 years, he went back to her. This time it was for good. He had in essence become Cleopatra's slave, granting her immense powers, adopting Egyptian dress and customs, and renouncing the West Rome. Damn, she put that thing on. They done got him one of the nicest, beautiful. This lady so damn nice. They done got they done did everything they can. They got the nicest lady in the world, known for her beauty and goodness. Cleopatra, she got it cracking. She fine as hell as fuck. She got the fine bitches freaking me too. I can't, can't nobody keep up with that. There's too much going on. You can't keep up. She got the parties. She got the music. She got the fine other young bitches around her. She fine as hell. Yeah, it's too much. It was too much for Mark Anthony. He didn't renounce Rome. He said, fuck it. Egypt, where is this nigga Mark Anthony crazy, man. Caesar wasn't even that bad. Mark Anthony said, fuck all. He was gone for good. He stayed with girl 3 years. Got the hell out of there. Damn, Octavia. I remember I knew a girl named Octavia. Only one image of Cleopatra survives. A barely visible profile on a coin, but we have numerous written descriptions. She had a long, thin face and a somewhat pointed nose. Her dominant features were her wonderfully large eyes. Her seductive power, however, did not lie in her looks. Indeed, many among the women of Alexandria were considered more beautiful than she. What she did have above all other women was the ability to distract a man. In reality, Cleopatra was physically unexceptional and had no political power. Yet both Caesar and Anthony, brave and clever men, saw none of this. What they saw was a woman who constantly transformed herself before their eyes, a one-woman spectacle. Her dress and makeup changed from day to day, but always gave her a heightened, goddess-like appearance. Damn, Cleopatra had that game. But I know some women that's like that. Keep that look. It don't matter down their day to day. Hair, style, look, hey. But that's what you gotta do. All of it play a part in all this in the world. Your image, everything, man. All this plays a part, man. Smell, dress, you know what I'm saying? Your profile, how you look, your style. You gotta figure out what you gotta figure. This is all to help you figure out you, man. You need to figure out you. When I read the 4 agreements, that's to help people figure out themselves. Everything I help them, I want people to figure out the truth about them, you. Okay. Her voice, which all writers talk of, was living and intoxicating. Her words could be banal enough, but were spoken so sweetly that listeners would find themselves remembering not what she said, but how she said it. See, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know? Cleopatra provided constant variety, tributes, mock battles, expeditions, costumed orgies. See? She had niggas fucking them young hoes with her. She had it going. You couldn't get enough of her. She don't care. She letting you hit the young bitches with her. She having fun, parties, sweet music. She got the fights, boxing, sports, you might as well say. Y'all going on trips, vacations, all around the world, seeing shit. Who ain't gonna fuck? Shit, she gonna get you. She everything you want. And she sound nice. She easy to talk to. You like being around her. And she ain't ugly. She might not be the finest ever, was what they saying. She ain't the finest, most beautiful lady ever in the history. But she was fine. She was decent. She was cute, you know? Cleopatra provided constant variety. Constant. Everything had a touch of drama and was accomplished with great energy. See, she high energy is fun. By the time your head lay on the pillow beside her, your mind was spinning with images and dreams. And just when you thought you had this fluid, larger-than-life woman, she would turn distant or angry, making it clear that everything was on her terms. You never possessed Cleopatra. You worshipped her. In this way, a woman who had been exiled and destined for an early death managed to turn it all around and rule Egypt for close to 20 years. Damn. What's the name? That happened to what's the name? Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan. That happened to Genghis Khan. He got kicked out, banished from his little village, took over the whole world. She got bushed out by her brother, whatever had, at the age 21. Got it cracking. Took over all of Egypt and more. Shit, for 20 years. Close to 20 years. Damn. Crazy. From Cleopatra, we learned that it is not beauty that makes a siren, but rather a theatrical streak that allows a woman to embody a man's fantasies. A woman grows bored with a woman. A man grows bored with a woman, no matter how beautiful. He yearns for different pleasures and for adventure. All a woman needs to turn this around is to create the illusion that she offers such variety and adventure. A man is easily deceived by appearances. He has a weakness for the visual. Damn. A man is easily deceived by appearances. He has a weakness for the visual. Create the physical presence of a siren. Heightened sexual allure mixed with a regal and theatrical manner. And he is trapped. Damn. He cannot grow bored with you, yet he cannot discard you. Keep up with the distractions. Keep up the distractions and then keep up the distractions and never let him see who you really are. He will follow you until he drowns. God damn. So you hear that, brothers? You hear that, my dog? Hey, man. Them looks, hey. Don't fall all the way for that. Be smart. Now, who was that? Because we're about to go to the sex sirens. So Cleopatra is the spectacular siren. So that's the spectacular siren, Cleopatra. Damn. Now, next, we're about to go to the sex siren. Whew. Norma Jean Mortensen, the future Marilyn Monroe. It's been part of her childhood in Los Angeles orphanages. Her days were filled with chores and no play. At school, she kept to herself, smiled rarely, and dreamed a lot. One day, when she was 13, as she was dressing for school, she noticed that the white blouse the orphanage provided for her was torn, so she had to borrow a sweater from a younger girl in the house. The sweater was several sizes too small. That day, suddenly, boys seemed to gather around her wherever she went. She was extremely well developed for her age. She wrote in her diary. She was extremely well developed for her age. She wrote in her diary, "They stared at my sweater as if it were a gold mine." Damn. So listen, so from a very young age, damn, so it seemed like you gotta have some darkness to you, it seemed like, just from these two people. So with all these seduction, I bet you that's gonna be the main trait with all the seducers. You gotta have some darkness to you, some type of fucked up childhood past or traumatic thing in your life. I guess to help you relate to people better. Seduce them. But anyway, let's say she was beautiful. Boys learned her since she was about 13 and said, when she turned 13. Okay, so, let's see. And they said she noticed it. She realized that at a young age too. You see that? How she peeped? You gotta have awareness. Awareness gotta be on point, man. Women and men. The revelation was simple but startling. Previously ignored and even ridiculed by the other students, Norma Jean now sensed a way to gain attention, maybe even power, for she was wildly ambitious. She started to smile more, wear makeup, dress differently, and soon she noticed something equally startling. Without her having to say or do anything, boys fell passionately in love with her. My admirers all said the same thing in different ways, she wrote. It was my fault. They're wanting to kiss me and hug me. Some said it was the way I looked at them, with eyes full of passion. Others said it was my voice that lured them on. Still others said I gave off vibrations that floored them. Damn. Look, she had she had these niggas in a frenzy. They couldn't do nothing with old Norma Jean. Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jean. What's wrong with them? A few years later, Marilyn was trying to make it in the film business. Producers would tell her the same thing. She was attractive enough in person, but her face wasn't pretty enough for the movies. She was getting work as an extra, and when she was on screen, even if only for a few seconds, the men in the audience would go wild, and the theaters would erupt in catcalls. But nobody saw any star quality in this. One day, in 1949, only 23 at the time, and her career at a standstill, Monroe met someone at a diner who told her that a producer casting a new Groucho Marx movie, Love Happy, was looking for an actress for the part of a blonde bombshell who could walk by Groucho in a way that would, in his words, arouse my elderly libido and cause smoke to issue from my ears. Talking her way into an audition, she improvised this walk. It's Mae West, Theta Bar, and Bo Peep. Okay, it's Mae West, Theta Bar, and Bo Peep all rolled into one, said Groucho after watching her saunter by. We shoot the scene tomorrow morning. And so Marilyn created her infamous walk, a walk that was hardly natural but offered a strange mix of innocence and sex. Over the next few years, Marilyn taught herself through trial and error how to heighten the effect she had on men. Her voice had always been attractive. It was the voice of a little girl, but on film, it had limitations until someone finally taught her to lower it, giving it the deep, breathy tones that became her seductive trademark. A mix of the little girl and the vixen. Before appearing on set or even at a party, Marilyn would spend hours before the mirror. Most people assumed this was vanity. She was in love with her image. The truth was that image took hours to create. Marilyn spent years studying and practicing the art of makeup. The voice, the walk, the face, and look were all constructions and act. At the height of her fame, she would get a thrill by going into bars in New York City without her makeup or glamorous clothes and passing unnoticed. Success? Damn, that was deep. She was that fine. She said she'd feel good by going unnoticed. That's how fine she was, and people was going crazy. She started feeling good to be like, whew, nobody even know who I am. I look normal. That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. People would die to look like her, and she would die to feel normal. Not to change her looks, but to just blend in. Well, it's not that crazy when you think about it. Make you think, though. You start really thinking about this stuff, about people, the psyche. Success finally came, but with it came something deeply annoying to her. The studios will only cast her as the blonde bombshell. She wanted serious roles, but no one took her seriously for those parts, no matter how hard she downplayed the siren qualities she had built up. One day, while she was rehearsing a scene from The Cherry Orchard, her acting instructor, Michael Chekhov, asked her, "Were you thinking of sex while we played the scene?" When she said no, he continued, "All through our playing of the scene, I kept receiving sex vibrations from you, as if you were a woman in the grip of passion. I understand your problem with your studio now, Marilyn. You are a woman who gives off sex vibrations, no matter what you are doing or thinking. The whole world has already responded to those vibrations. They come off the movie screen when you are on them." Damn, that's deep. Well, he told her, it don't matter what you do. You motherfuckers only thinking about fucking you. That's all they look at you is sex. It don't matter what you doing. That's all you giving off. With your fine ass, you too sexy. Marilyn Monroe loved the effect her body could have on the male libido. She tuned her physical presence like an instrument, making herself reek of sex and gaining a glamorous, larger-than-life appearance. Other women knew just as many tricks for heightening their sexual appeal, but what separated Marilyn from them was an unconscious element. Her background had deprived her of something critical: affection. Damn. Her deepest need was to feel loved and desired, which made her seem constantly vulnerable, like a little girl craving protection. She emanated this need. She emanated this need for love before the camera. It was effortless, coming from somewhere real and deep inside. A look or gesture that she did not intend to arouse desire would do so doubly powerfully, just because it was unintended. Its innocence was precisely what excited a man. Damn. But see, didn't I say that earlier? I said that earlier. Everybody got some trauma, something to connect with these people, something. The sex siren has a more urgent and immediate effect than the spectacular siren does. The incarnation of sex and desire. She does not bother to appeal to extraneous senses or to create a theatrical build-up. Her time never seems to be taken up by work or chores. She gives the impression that she lives for pleasure and is always available. What separates the sex siren from the courtesan or whore is her touch of innocence and vulnerability. The mix is perversely satisfying. It gives the male the critical illusion that he is a protector, the father figure, although it is actually the sex siren who controls the dynamic. Damn. I done seen a lot of niggas fall for this, thinking they protecting her. She's just a little freak. And he feeling good, falling for it. She getting him everything he want. He falling all the way for it. Stupid ass. A woman doesn't have to be born with the attributes of a Marilyn Monroe to feel the role of the sex siren. Most of the physical elements or construction. The key is the air of schoolgirl innocence. While one part of you seems to scream sex, the other part is coy and naive, as if you were incapable of understanding the effect you are having. Your walk, your voice, your manner are delightfully ambiguous. You are both the experienced and desiring woman and the innocent gamin. I don't even know what gamin means, but damn, that was deep. All right. So let's get to keys to the character. I guess they're going to say, explain the best parts of the sirens. They just did the, okay. And we're going to finish the siren. So I guess we're going to do each one, break down each one, each of the 9 characters. So we're going to finish the siren now. Keys to the character. The siren is the most ancient seductress of them all. Her prototype is the goddess Aphrodite. It is her nature to have a mythic quality about her, but do not imagine she is a thing of the past or of legend and history. She represents a powerful male fantasy of a highly sexual, supremely confident, alluring female, offering endless pleasure and a bit of danger. In today's world, this fantasy can only appeal the more strongly to the male psyche. For now, more than ever, he lives in a world that circumscribes his aggressive instincts by making everything safe and secure. A world that offers less chance for adventure and risk than ever before. In the past, a man had some outlets for these drives: warfare, the high seas, political intrigue. In the sexual realm, courtesans and mistresses were practically a social institution. And offered him the variety and the chase that he craved. Without any outlets, his drives turned inward and gnaw at him, becoming all the more volatile for being repressed. Sometimes a powerful man will do the most irrational things, have an affair when it is least called for, just for a thrill, the danger of it all. The irrational, see? Now this is what y'all need to see. This is why this book is important for y'all women. Y'all probably don't even know. This why a nigga cheat. It said right here. Y'all not doing enough. It said right here. He needs a thrill in his life. Give him at least some thrill. And that's why he cheating. It said right here. Even a powerful man, he'd have an affair when it's least called for no apparent reason at all. Just for the thrill, because he bored as shit. Back in the day, a nigga ain't living being a full man. Well, most men, conquering shit, doing shit, or fighting, or going out with the guys, or hunting. Most people chilling with the family, going home every day. Man, that's why nobody got testosterone. Testosterone levels so low and shit. You know what I'm saying now? It's crazy. The irrational can prove immensely seductive, even more so for men, who must always seem so reasonable. So it's way easier. Basically, that's what it's down there saying. The irrational shit is super seductive for men. And you gotta look. That's why men like the crazy bitches. That explain it right here. She acting irrational, crazy, doing crazy shit. Emotionally irrational. You don't know where she coming and going. Nigga in love. Come on, man. If it is seductive power you are after, the siren is the most potent of all. She operates on a man's most basic emotions. And if she plays her role properly, she can transform a normally strong and responsible male into a childish slave. The siren operates well on the rigid masculine type, the soldier or hero, just as Cleopatra overwhelmed Mark Antony, and Marilyn Monroe, Joe DiMaggio. But never imagine that these are the only types the siren can affect. Julius Caesar was a writer and thinker who had transferred his intellectual abilities onto the battlefield and into the political arena. The playwright Arthur Miller fell as deeply under Monroe's spell as DiMaggio. The intellectual is often the one most susceptible. The intellectual is often the one the most susceptible to the siren call of pure physical pleasure, because his life so lacks it. The siren